That way, if Rob gets in trouble, Chris can take over.
My husband, I saw a golden, the guy had shaved and all that.
Oh, yeah, I know a lot of people do that. I don't know whether it's helping or not. Sometimes I think they get a little insulation on it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, I'll walk through them.
Yeah.
That's right, I got a little pond up near my place. I always used to take mine to it. I'd leave them out. On a hot day, they'd beeline right through it.
Yeah, they love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
No, you guys don't.
We're doing the talking around here, not you.
Whiner. When do they have their air show here? You have it once a year, right?
In the second week of August, usually.
Oh, second week of August?
It's already open.
Oh, I thought...
I gotta ask him what he's got in there for the gear servo, because you know if he's got that Byron slow servo? Boy, it's real hard to videotape on this thing.
There was a... Were you here for our August Fun Fly?
I just caught the last day.
Were you here? Well, on the last day, a guy flew, Dean DiGiorgio flew a P-51 Byron with
I talked to him.
With a G62 in it.
Oh, did they have the 62?
Yeah, that had a 62 in it. Which is 3.7 versus this is, I think, 3.2, 3.1 or 3.2. Well, his is 3 inches. He's got the 50. They updated this to the 52, and supposedly they get a 20% power boost.
I'd like to see one of those airliner replicas. Why? Like a 727.
They had one out at the Toledo show, a 747 with 2 turbines in it.
Is that Japanese guy that had that?
Yep.
Yeah, I know that plane.
They had the video. I don't know if you saw it or not. I didn't happen to get to that booth. For whatever reason, I didn't.
I've seen them at Jets Over the Land.
Did you?
Yeah.
And the video, from what I was told, shows that thing going right straight up. Did it? Did you see it?
He didn't do that one, I
okay.
saw it. I think that was probably his 3rd flight with it, so he wasn't...
Oh, okay. God, can you imagine what it cost him just to ship that thing here from Japan?
Oh, yeah.
To move it around the country?
How big is it?
Big. Probably 14-foot wingspan. Big.
Yeah, at least that.
Really big. He's got 4 pods, but the out pods are
Just
dummies.
Yeah.
He just has 2 of those Sapphire engines in it.
He's having trouble with the approach here.
Well, those things...
He doesn't like right-hand turns. That's why you see him making that right-hand left-hand turn. He doesn't like right-hand turns, so he makes a left-hand approach.
I've flown a lot of stuff, and I have to say, the Mustang's probably the toughest plane to land.
He's not using the flaps. Boy, that thing just did not want to sit down, did it? You know, you could probably go any way you wanted. Save engines and plugs, I'll bet. It is smooth. You can see how smooth it is as you control it. It's just like it's on a rail. You could get one for a couple of $100 to buy one. What flight is this?
Probably its 12th flight.
Jeez, it's so fast for me to get that, Chris.
Yeah, it's hard to follow it.
It's really just a joy to fly though.
Lose it in the sun.
Did you start your time?
Yep.
4 minutes?
Okay. Start setting up for approach at 5 minutes.
Does that have a beeper on it?
No. I just keep checking.
Whoa!
What happened?
Man, right into the sun. Peter did that with his P-51 a few nights ago, and he almost...
Battery. This is Chris' final approach.
Oh, you hit the right part of the field, too, that's for sure. You want me to carry it back, or...?
I'll give you the radio.
We're back at the 44th Annual EAA Fly-In Convention. Why do the best performers in the air show circuit donate their time to appear at Oshkosh? Because it's the greatest air show in the world. This year, legendary combat and test pilot Bob Hoover returns after a 3-year absence. Bob's back better than ever. From veterans such as Bob to first-time Oshkosh performers like Eric Hagenson, the air show provides more than enough noise and smoke to satisfy enthusiastic fans. Wayne Handley has been called the master of the inverted flat spin. He holds the record with 67 turns and is the 1996 recipient of the prestigious Bill Barber Award. This year, he swaps his trademark Raven for the Giles G200.
I like to grab the audience with my first maneuver and then keep a grip on them all the way through. I don't repeat any maneuvers. I just, as one old timer said, do what you do best once and land. And I just like to keep it as tight, as action-packed as I can. And flying a Raven, I have my set program with the Aerobatic. Flying a G200, this is the quickest airplane in the world. I mean, this thing is beyond description. When you see the roll rate on your own video here from onboard camera, it's astounding. I cannot count the times the horizon goes by in a maximum rate roll.
want to know what's hot in aerobatic teams? These four folks are what's hot in aerobatic teams, the fabulous Northern Lights. Last time we talked, Andre, about a year ago, you folks were just about brand new. So how's it going?
We're still brand new. We still keep working on it, and this year we had a few maneuvers for the show, and we're going to keep working on it to make it more and more and more exciting for the crowd.
Tell us something about what these airplanes do.
These airplanes do basically anything we want them to do. They're fantastic. They're an extra 300. They're built in Germany. They're capable of plus or minus 10 G, 225 knots, which is about 260 miles an hour, and there's nothing like them. They're really the best all-around aircraft that we could ever hope to have flown.
Now, as a former snowbird, and three of you are former snowbirds, from jets to piston planes, how do you like that?
Well, this is probably the closest with the engine we have on this airplane, the Lycoming 540. That's probably the closest you'll get to a jet engine. Very responsive, very powerful, and very reliable, so we love it.
How is it going for you?
Oh, it's going great. I just can't wait every day, to go up and fly and just to go from one city to another city all summer long. It's the most exciting life I could ever dream of.
It's a rare day when designer Bert Rutan doesn't visit Oshkosh with something offbeat, and this year was no exception. The Boomerang, as he calls his newest creation, is a twin fuselage airplane, one of the most unusual aircraft to come out of sport aviation, well, since the last Rutan design.
No, the reason it's a boomerang is the shape of the wing in the planform. It has a forward-swept wing that's shaped just like a boomerang. What is surprising to people is the airplane's asymmetric when you look at it, but it's more symmetric than a symmetric airplane is when you fly it.
All right, how do you explain that?
The main reason is a twin that looks symmetric has P effect on the propellers. When it slows down, it needs rudder, okay? This one is designed so it doesn't. The P effect makes the airplane symmetric at low speed, and it's asymmetric at high speed where you don't ever notice it. Back in 1972, I was the only one in the world that had a Varivigan, okay? And I had a lot of fun having the only one. So that's what's going to happen for a while. I'm going to enjoy this baby by myself here for a while.
There'll be more air show action later in the hour. Plus, still to come on this Oshkosh Air Show special edition of Ultimate Flights, a quest for 2 aviation world records, NASCAR racer Rusty Wallace, and a group of very special young eagles. A view from the sky is always impressive, even more so when you have the EAA Flying Convention as a backdrop. But for a group of young people riding in a 1929 Ford Tri-Motor, this view takes on extra significance. And not only because their pilot is the first man to break the sound barrier. These seriously ill children are enjoying a dream day at Oshkosh 96 through the efforts of several organizations, including the U.S. and Canadian Customs Services, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and EAA's Young Eagles program. All right, this is a heck of a project you folks have put together. Tell us where the idea came from, if you can.
Well, I'll tell you, the federal agencies have been participating here in EAA for at least 6 or 7 years. And about 3 years ago, several of us sat down together and we're trying to think of something additional we could do besides provide information to the pilots and the aviation-interested public. Something else we could do to help share this experience with others. And the Make-A-Wish Foundation came to light because a lot of us are familiar with it. It was actually started by a U.S. Customs officer down in Texas many years ago. We contacted the Make-A-Wish Foundation here in Butler, Wisconsin, and told them our idea, and it's just grown from there.
you know, for these youngsters who are having, you know, the kinds of problems in their personal lives that none of us, you know, want or would even, you know, wish to happen to anybody. Each of them got up in the left seat, flew the airplane, and you should have seen their faces. It was great.
And it's the fun is, I think, is watching the expression on their face when they get up there and get a hold of the wheel and try to turn the airplane, and then they try harder, and they don't realize the forces on airplanes like this are quite heavy, and they really got to lay into it. Then they have fun.
Well, Make-A-Wish is about making wishes come true for special kids, and you've done that today.
It makes me feel good, too.
As you could take a second now, just picture what you just saw. What are you feeling inside?
Well, I'm feeling very proud. You know, with U.S. Customs Service, many people know us as the people in uniform at the border saying, what do you have to declare? But so many of the fine people, men and women of the U.S. Customs Service and throughout the government, U.S. and Canada, these people are good citizens as well, and they do so much for their communities. And that's what I'm seeing here. It isn't us, it's the people who are part of the Customs Service and both sides of the border. They give so much to the community, and you're seeing that right here today.
I love this aircraft. I have a really unique opportunity to come here to Oshkosh. About 13 years ago, it was the first time I was ever at the EAA here in Oshkosh, and it's the first time I ever saw the Harrier perform. That time I was just a spectator out in the stands, and watching it, I was just amazed at it. So I have this great opportunity 13 years later to actually be the pilot sitting in the seat out there and actually demonstrating the great capabilities of this aircraft. We have an extra flight control in the cockpit, and what allows it to do this is we can vector the thrust. We can move the nozzles down, vector the thrust straight down vertically, and that's what allows it to hover.
How fast will this thing go?
Well, it'll go up to Mach 1, just below the speed of sound. It's not a supersonic aircraft, but right around 650 miles an hour.
Next up on this Oshkosh Air Show's special edition of Ultimate Flights, the fastest Formula One aircraft on the racing circuit attempts to establish a new world record.
I've seen Oshkosh every possible way. Upside down, right side up. From the west side and from the east side. But the best way to see Oshkosh is from the inside, as a member of the organization that is Oshkosh, the EAA. Come see EAA our way as a member. I'll be back with a special offer later in the hour.
This event, but Oshkosh clearly is a world-class event. The EAA show here every year. Everybody that's in aviation, knows aviation, wants to know about aviation, comes to Oshkosh.
All right, sir. I believe you have a blimp that you want to ride on, so thanks for talking with us.
Pleasure, and good luck to everybody. Safe flying.
You'll also get a ride on the Fuji blimp a little later in the program. But right now, Formula One racer John Sharp is prepping his seemingly unbeatable Nemesis race plane on the flight line, ready to chase his own 3-kilometer speed record, a record set 3 years ago right here at Oshkosh. Nemesis falls in Class C1A for piston aircraft weighing between 660 and 1,102 pounds. 4 passes down the straight line course and up to 3 separate flights will be allowed. The passes in each flight will be averaged. He's looking to beat 277.26 miles per hour.
I'm going to go really fast today. I'm going to break a world record. I am going to break a world record right now.
before Sharp lands, it's apparent that he did not succeed. His unofficial average speed is only 272 miles per hour. He must better his old record by at least 1% to establish a new one. Clearly, today is not the day, but he's allowed 2 more flights. We're seeing a different Nemesis today. That O200 engine sounds right on the mark. Incidentally, the prop on Nemesis is the same one Sharp used to set his old record. We're with John Sharp and a whole bunch, not all, but a whole bunch of the Nemesis crew. John, we don't have it officially. Unofficially, they said 285 for the average.
285, the aircraft spruce redline oil Nemesis just rocked today. Boy, what a difference from our first attempt, John. The thing was just running 300 miles an hour, ripping down the runways, 4,400 RPM, hot, bouncing all over. What a great day for the team. It was great. I love it. I'll take those bouncy, fast flights anytime.
Now, some people thought you might have been sandbagging yesterday to get more drama today, John.
No sandbagging. We were up till midnight last night trying to figure out our problems.
You went several hours earlier today. Did that make a difference, do you think?
Absolutely. The turbulence was definitely up today. This was so reminiscent of the flight 3 years ago, running down the runway, bouncing up and down. But it's okay. The Nemesis airplane just ripped right through it, just gobbled up the turbulence. It was wonderful.
The official speed, 283.75 miles per hour, or more than 2% above the former record, and another speed triumph for Team Nemesis. Later at Oshkosh 96, Sharp's Formula One racing rival, Bruce Bohannon, attempts a world record of his own. Will he succeed? Keep it here and find out. Next, a tribute to the veterans of the Korean and Vietnam Wars.
Hi, I'm Sean D. Tucker. If you want to be a part of the aviation scene and support the sport aviation organization that is dedicated to protecting your right to fly, call this toll-free number and join the Experimental Aircraft Association today. There's over 150,000 of us in EAA dedicated to flight in all its exciting forms. You don't have to be a pilot. If you're interested in flying, we'll keep the information coming. Take a step, make the call.
This is about impressions and memories of 2 wars and of the people who fought them. Men and women who are just now receiving the recognition they deserve. For many years, they were forgotten wars. Korea and Vietnam, the 2 major wars following World War II involving American forces. Unlike previous American involvements, both wars ended with uncertain conclusions. Korean War vets came home often to indifference, Vietnam vets to hostility. This year, EAA and Oshkosh 96 salute the service of veterans of both the Korean and Vietnam Wars. The Oshkosh crowds pause to pay tribute to the men and women and the aircraft that played such important parts in these wars.
Vietnam, as you know, was a very difficult time because our nation asked America's young people to fight and die and would not allow them to win. And that became extremely discouraging for many in Vietnam. But now it's much, much different. And I get tremendous reaction from young and old everywhere I go. There's not that feeling anymore, except in very few circumstances, that ill feeling about those who served in Vietnam.
So mixed feelings at a tribute such as this?
Well, very mixed feelings. More than anything else, feelings of pride in our country, in aviation, the people that make it all happen. That's what's so important.
The first jet fighter battles of Korea marked the end of prop-driven dominance in air warfare. During the Vietnam era, the first wave of jet aircraft was replaced by technology and aerodynamic design that is still in use.
Well, I was very proud to serve my country when called. I thought it was a duty that I deserved in my country for the freedom that they gave me. I was very lucky to be able to fly high-performance jet fighters at the time and bring to reality a dream I've had ever since a little kid and watching those jet fighters right after World War II. But I always thought those guys were a hero. And my mother says, no, they're not heroes, they're regular guys. And if you work really hard, you can be one of them too. The opportunity to do that and to the people that I knew, and that was my proudest moment, to serve my country and actually participate in combat and have the will and the courage and the talent to go and do that. That's my self-satisfaction from the whole thing, and I'll never forget that.
Even though I was in World War II and in Korea, my proudest moment, I still think, was my service in Vietnam. And not because of any medals that I might have achieved. It was just that it was such a tough war.
Conflict, peacekeeping mission. These are words some use when they're afraid to call a war. But to the men and women who fought them, no other word will do.
Is it healing? Does it ever really heal, Mike?
I'm a little bit too old, like I said, for maintaining a position of hate. Really, when I get right down to it, I never hated the Viet Cong. Sometimes I wish they were on my side, you know.
Don't go away. There's still a lot more to come, including a second world record attempt, the greatest air show acts in the world, and NASCAR champion Rusty Wallace trades his Thunderbird for a Mustang.
There's so much more to Oshkosh than we can bring you in a one-hour show. So here's an offer. Call this number and join the organization that is Oshkosh, EAA. We'll send you, free of charge, your extended coverage members video of Oshkosh 96. See the world's greatest aviation event as only the insiders, the EAA members, see it. Your EAA membership will keep you involved with aviation on a year-round basis. There's a local chapter near you. Call now and your membership package will be on the way.
Gene Susi, Avemco, #1 in aviation insurance for all types of pilots, even airshow performers. Can other pilots get the same coverage? Yes. Avemco provides full aircraft damage and liability, as well as renter's insurance. And do EAA members qualify for discounts and extra benefits? Yes. Whether you bought it or built it, protect it. Call 1-800-638-8440.
It's Oshkosh Air Show 96 is brought to you by Canon, so advanced it's simple, Cessna Aircraft Company, and by EAA, the Sport Aviation Association. The man with a serious look is Bruce Bohannon of Friendswood, Texas, who's trying to score a hat trick when it comes to time to climb records. He set the 6,000 meter 2 years ago here at Oshkosh and the 9,000 meter earlier this year. Now he's trying for the 3,000 meter. The idea is to reach these altitudes quicker than anyone, ever. Bruce will be making his attempt in the C-1A class for piston-powered aircraft.
We're with Bruce Bohannon. He is getting set to go for a record, and Bruce, it seems like this is really the big one.
John, this is the big one for us. The 3,000-meter climb has got away from us several times, and everything we've done in these climbs has been in public, so we feel like we owe something to the crowd as well as to ourselves, and we came to this one extremely well prepared. If all the systems stay up and running, should be a slam dunk.
I've been hearing nothing but confidence from you. Why are you so confident, Bruce?
John, we got on this right after the last fly-in we went to, so we've had about 4 months of solid testing and work on the airplane. The engine is it's flawless.
Now this one, though, the 3,000 meter, as you say, it's beaten you a couple times before. So this is going to be the biggest one if you get it, isn't it?
That's right, John. We don't give up on anything. We just keep pursuing it, and I think there's no end to what you can do if you just keep trying. And that's our goal here, is to just keep trying until we get it.
Well, we're looking for a lot of different things. There's a lot of pieces that have to come together to make this happen. Everything from the weight of the aircraft to the verification equipment, the timer, the video equipment, things of that nature. So we subject verification from us, the NAA, and then it goes on to FAI, who is the final world authority.
Bruce has passed through the 9,800-foot mark. He's almost to 3,000 meters, and right now it looks too close to call.
How'd it go, my man?
I don't know, but it ran awful good.
Bruce, talk to us. Tell us what it looked like. How did it feel? How'd the engine feel? It sure sounded good from out here. What did you see?
It came out of the box running, Hoot. We got the bottles a little warmer than we have been at home. Been getting our courage up a little bit. And as you know, at home, we've been running a little rich on takeoff and then having to really find it. With a little extra bottle pressure, we were able to just come off the ground, boom. I mean, when we hit the switch, it was perfect mixture, and I never had to touch it through about 3,000 feet. So kept my workload down, let me watch the airspeed indicator and just fly the plane. And every once in a while, I would just tweak it a little bit, lean it out just a hair more, and oh, baby, it ran good the whole way.
How many world records will that be if you got this one?
This will be 5, Hoot. If this one gets certified, this will give us 5 total. That's the 5 we set out for 3 years ago. So,
well, we have another person joining us now, and that's the official representative of the National Aeronautic Association, which is the Aero Club of the United States and the sanctioning body for the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale. And that's Mr. Art Greenfield. Art is the sanctioning official for this record attempt today, so maybe Art will share a few words with us at this time.
Yeah, I have just a few words to say. Bruce, congratulations. We have a new record claim, 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Time to climb to 3,000 meters.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Woo! Take no prisoners.
We are up in the tower at the busiest airport in the world, Oshkosh. Jeff Kleinbeck is the man in charge this week. And Jeff, I gather this week, the folks in New York and Chicago have nothing on you and the controllers here.
That's right. For this period of the convention, Oshkosh is the busiest air traffic control tower in the world.
How busy is it?
We've run a traffic count up through today, and we've worked over 15,000 airplanes in a little over a week. We'll send out a bid to allow people from around the Great Lakes region to apply to come here and work at this event, and we'll get 300 bidders who are begging to come here, literally, and we can only select about 65 people to come and join us as a part of this family here for this event. Our controllers will issue control instructions, and we ask the pilots to acknowledge that instruction by simply rocking their wings. And when they do that, we know that they heard us, and this is not a matter of, well, if we call ourselves air traffic controllers here, it's quite a misnomer. This is best referred to as being a referee, but better yet, pilot-controller cooperation, and it works very, very, very well. Oshkosh is the busiest air traffic control tower in the world.
The power, the passion.
Overhead, the roar of engines. Below, thousands and thousands of air show fans. Welcome back to the 44th Annual EAA Fly-In Convention and a second look at the afternoon air show spectacular. We mentioned Eric Hagenson at the top of the program. Now we'll get to see a little more of him. This is the 24-year-old's first Oshkosh appearance, but you wouldn't know it from this nearly flawless routine. Eric is involved in aerobatics as a performer, competitor, and instructor.
I have lots of goals. One of them, national champion. Be a U.S. team member, world champion. I think I'd enjoy that. Lots of other goals too in flying, but the immediate goals are those right now.
There are only 9 blimps in the United States, 13 in the entire world, and this is the biggest, the Fuji blimp. Quite a difference from what we're used to seeing roaring down the flight line, but a nice change of pace, especially if you're lucky enough to get a ride. Over here in the right seat, we have John McHugh. John has 12 years in blimps. John, tell us something about this. How big, how much does it weigh, and about some of the ways it works.
Well, some of the stats actually are pretty impressive. We're talking about a vehicle that's 2/3 the size of a football field and weighs over 7 tons without helium, of course. The top speed is almost 60 miles per hour, but normally we're operating this equivalent aircraft size of a 747 in a J3 Cub environment. So Fuji blimp makes for some really fun times. We're talking about 250,000 cubic feet of displacement above our heads with inert helium gas, so it's very safe. That's what keeps it flying. 2 Porsche car engines driving props which keep it moving.
John, do you get a kick out of flying this still?
Absolutely. It contains elements of just about every other type of aviation all rolled up into one package. Has buoyancy like a hot air balloon. You can hover it like a helicopter. You can stick it around like a Cessna 150. So it's all adds up to be a blimp and nothing else.
If opposites attract, then these two pilots had better watch out. Yes, you're seeing a formation routine featuring 2 Grumman aircraft from widely separate eras. The F-14 Jet is a product of the early 1970s, while the prop-driven F-6F was the Navy's dominant fighter of World War II.
It's a privilege to come here to Oshkosh and fly, but it's a special event this year to do it with the F-6F, and because we're here at Oshkosh, we've done a couple little different things, doing a formation takeoff, and then some interesting section formations, which require me as the pilot to fly pretty hard and stay in tight formation with my airplane that wants to go about 600 knots and a Hellcat that wants to fly at about 180 knots.
How close are you, in fact, to that Hellcat?
In a couple of formations, particularly when I'm in the slot and on the left wing for the show passes, I'm flying with about 36 to 40 inches of canopy to wingtip clearance, or in the case of the slot, underneath his tail.
Still to come, Oshkosh as the ideal place to make aviation news. And what's NASCAR racer Rusty Wallace doing behind the wheel of a P-51?
This program, you're invited to embark on the aviation experience of a lifetime. Welcome to Ultimate Flights, the fast-paced series now available on home video. EAA's award-winning video team puts you in the cockpit and on the wing of some of the most sophisticated sport and military aircraft. Call and order Volume 1 of the best of Ultimate Flights for only $19.95 and receive Volume 2 absolutely free. EAA and Ultimate Flights. We put the fun in flying.
Joe McGill. Oshkosh's importance in the aviation world than to point to this: the free exchange of ideas delivered in numerous forums, workshops, and news conferences. Air shows and tributes aside, this annual gathering of the top entities of the public and private sectors of aviation and their accessibility to the public is a hallmark of the fly-in convention. Oshkosh is the established site to introduce new products or announce aviation regulations.
It was 2 years ago this month when we walked out of the Oval Office after the General Aviation Revitalization Act had been officially signed, and we proudly announced to a battery of cameras and microphones that Cessna was going back in the single-engine business.
We are looking here, we have the Skyhawk behind you folks, also the Skylane, and that's just drawing so much interest. People are crowding around.
Well, we built almost 39,000 Skyhawks over the year. This is a brand new version. It's got all kinds of new technology, new systems, great comfort and convenience, and there's a lot of people that are going to be owning these in the next few years. Very happy.
Tell us a bit about these two airplanes.
Great new products, certified as FAR-23 airplanes, as contrasted to their predecessors, which were CAR-3, so they're brand new airplanes. They are the most popular general aviation airplanes that were ever built in their former lives. We believe that will be true again for the future. New systems throughout, new power plants throughout, new interiors, new pricing with a lot of value, and we think will bring excitement, as we always have, back to the industry. For many, many years, we were greatly inhibited and actually exited the business in 1986 by virtue of the product liability issues that existed in the national legislating process. And so we withdrew from the industry in 1986, but Russ and a lot of industry leaders otherwise continued to fight that battle, and we're back.
This airplane is capable of flying about 6,000 miles with a 25-ton payload. It flies it's a low-altitude penetrator, so with its terrain-following system, it can hug the ground at a certain height above, and once we navigate to the target, we can drop all the weapons, and we can do this in night and in the weather, and that's kind of our specialty. We like to hide, we like to be by ourselves, and just go take care of our mission. But this airplane hasn't seen any action yet. During Desert Storm, it was only certified as a nuclear bomber, but now it's a conventional bomber. I think the size of the B-1 really surprises a lot of people. We're very fast, we're capable of exceeding the speed of sound. And with our wings all the way forward, we tend to look like a large lumbering aircraft. But once we get the wings tucked back, we can really move pretty well.
And when it comes to Oshkosh, I just come up here because I enjoy it. And this is something they put together that I really didn't know what was going on. But they had it all planned for me. And man, I mean, the Crazy Horse, this is a wonderful plane to do it in.
So here's an offer. Call this. This is brought to you by McDonald's. Have you had your break today? Canon, so advanced it's simple. And by EAA, the Sport Aviation Association. Here we are at Oshkosh, and here's Rusty Wallace again. Seems like you're becoming an Oshkosh regular.
Oh, I love it. I tell you, I was here for the first time last year for about 3 days, and I'll be here for another 3 or 4 days this time. And, you know, all that racing we're doing, we just got back from Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis, and I wasn't running real well. I finished 7th in the race, and right after the last couple laps, I'm thinking, man, I can't wait to get in my bird and get up to Oshkosh so I can relax a little bit and have a good time and see what I enjoy most, and that's aviation.
I'm not going to have you hanging inverted from your straps, okay? Unless you're just having a ball, but you may have us both hanging upside down from our straps. If that's the case, I'll ride with you too.
Okay.
Okay? Nothing automatic about the parachute system, so you need to pull the D-ring. I'd be doing the same thing. Okay? Since you haven't jumped and I haven't jumped, let's not mess up a perfect record.
Yeah. Rusty Wallace is strapped in. He's been briefed. How you feeling?
I feel great. This is the first time I've been to 51. Lee Lauterbach gave me a great education right off the bat here, and it's going to be a fun day. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I've always wanted to get in it, but, you know, I never can find the time. And when it comes to Oshkosh, I just come up here because I enjoy it. And this is something they put together that I really didn't know what was going on. But they had it all planned for me. And, man, I mean, the Crazy Horse, this is a wonderful plane to do it in.
Boy, keep coming. Nose up, pull, 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 keep pulling, pull. Lots of vertical, pull. Start your rolling maneuver now. A little bit of roll, roll, roll. Notice the vertical of this airplane is pretty awesome, isn't it? Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Smooth hands, very nice job. Outstanding. Let's just take the airplane right up and over the top for a big loop in the sky. Hey, you do that one now. You do it. I'll talk you through it. Just go ahead and pull. Pull back. Straight back. You're doing great. Keep your pull going. A little bit more. Look at the wingtips now for orientation. Keep pulling back. A little bit more pull. A little bit more pull. Put your head up and over your shoulders. Pick up the horizon. Don't change a thing. You're doing great, Rusty. All right. Keep it coming right on around. Beautiful job. Now, a little bit of pull again. Work those wings level, and just a nice, easy pull. Pretty cool, huh? God damn, I'll tell you. First time I've ever done one of them before. All right. There's 240, coming up 250. And we've been there before, and nice, easy pull. Right back up and over the top. A little more pull now. Can you handle it? There you go. Keep that pull going. Give me a little bit of left stick pressure. Pull straight back now. Beautiful. There you go. Parked up in the real nice vertical. Pick up the horizon. I want you to keep the nose coming on down, Give me a little forward pressure now. Full right aileron. Or left, it does better. And right rudder. Excellent job. All right. How you feeling, all right? Yeah, so far. Excellent. Well, what do you think of the Mustang? Damn, Lee, I'll tell you what, this left leg you're up here with me, this is great. It's the first time I've ever been up here. I had this fear that I'm going to go up there and get jerked all around and get sick and not have any fun, but this is a great time. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's what it's all about. Okay, Rusty, ease the power back just a little bit.
Ease the power back a little bit. We'll just get it all lined up. You're doing great. Nice job, Rusty.
Hey, thank you very much, Lee. That's awesome. It's the best damn flight I've ever had, I think.
How did he do? Oh, smooth hands, smooth hands. Did a terrific job. Obviously, you know, we worked real well together as a team, and that's part of the whole presentation of the airplane. And, you know, we introduced some new things, I think, to Rusty. The airplane going straight up in the vertical rolling type maneuvers.
For a guy who doesn't know anything about aerobatics, I learned pretty quick that that was kind of fun. But I don't know if I'd want to do it regularly unless I had Lee with me.
So you're not giving up racing cars to go race at Reno?
No, it was a blast just flying the airplane. Just flying the airplane, you know, and just taking it down to low level, just cruising with it, feeling the maneuvers of it, listen to those that Merlin roar. It was just a wonderful feeling.
This hour always goes by so fast. Hoot, we've seen some incredible things, including two guys succeeding at breaking records.
It's been a fabulous year for Oshkosh 96, John. It's been a great year for Ultimate Flights. We saw Bruce Bohannon take the world time to climb record to 3,000 meters, giving him that clean sweep now of all the time to climb records in the C1A class, the 3,000 meter, the 6,000 meter, the 9,000 meter. All in all, a great Oshkosh once again.
And we've seen John Sharp break his own speed dash record. You got to wonder how fast Nemesis can go. We always say this, if you're at all interested in flying, you don't have to be a pilot, just be interested. You've got to come here to Oshkosh.
And that's the truth, because nowhere else can you see it all as we've seen this year at Oshkosh 96. It's all here, and it's all here every year.
And now it's time to go.
That's right, John. And isn't there a tradition associated with leaving Oshkosh? Don't we have a tradition every year that you observe?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And I suppose you're wondering what I'm going to do. Well, let's show you how I get out of here this time. A couple of years ago, I left Oshkosh in the nose of a B-17. Then last year, inverted in the Sukhoi aerobatic plane. This year, I'm taking the easy way out. I'm flying out of here in the Fuji blimp. So for ESPN, for Hoot Gibson, for everybody at Ultimate Flights, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Stick around for late highlights, plus news and notes from around the world of sports. The award-winning Sports Center is next on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Short period would make this a local phenomenon.
For Thursday, November 19th, 1998, with Yoda, lightsabers, yep, the Star Wars Phantom Menace trailer is here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Bob Golan.
And I'm Mary Hart. Thank you for joining us. Anakin Skywalker, the young Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, all the spaceships and special effects. Your long-awaited Star Wars prequel preview is finally here. Well, I've seen it. It is great, and we'll have it for you a little later on ET.
But first, stunning news.
About to meet him. Coming up on ET. Star Wars The Phantom Menace. The anticipation's been building. Now we have episode 1.
Anakin, tell him to take off.
Plus, 12 months of models. The calendar's so exciting.
It is a calendar so exciting,
which has been building for years, hit a fever pitch this week. The new Star Wars movie is on its way. Now we're going to bring you the newest images from the film, so strap in for your ride back to the future with Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
To the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the force. You believe it's this boy?
He can see things before they happen.
can help you.
The force is unusually strong with him.
He was meant to help
Anakin! Tell him to take off!
you. Are you again? What have you heard from me?
Are you sure about this? Trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know?
Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I sense much fear in you. The boy is dangerous. They all sense it. Why can't you? Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Exciting, huh? And we want to know what you think. You can let us know what you're excited about as the new Star Wars movie approaches by clicking over to our ET website. Star Wars Episode 1, the...
You recording? Yeah. Where'd everybody go? Let's get a camera.
Where's yours, Warren?
Yes?
Yeah.
Get it.
You didn't get it.
No, the guy didn't have it done, and I got set up with it.
How much that weighs? Hey, how much is that weigh?
Just under 20 pounds.
Under 20 pounds?
Brian's airplane, the big one there. It was Chris's first flight this year, and he just sold this jet. Hate to see it go.
A little sense of the altitude here today, too. A little bit, but that other, I'm telling you, the weight on that other one was throwing it.
Oh, he said he had low rate on the auto.
You all right, Charlie? Yeah. Well, that would do it. All right. What's it up about? Minus 120. Tell him to stay away from you.
Neither did he.